I'm your host, Grim. I'm the director of content for SRC. I'm joined by my co-host Tanto here.
Besides Kazi, I am the senior most person here. I came into Source in the fall of 2021, so I am rolling into 2 years now. And I started out as a comp player. I played in the Apex program, and then from then I went into content creation. Then eventually I moved into the role of casting. From then, the operations director for Source Gaming. I've been pretty much in that role for a good while now, so I just now have the fancy title to go with it. It's been an amazing ride meeting these people. Just another beautiful thing about gaming and online meeting new people that you would think you would meet. And I'm looking forward to what more is about to come.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's definitely a place that brings you outside of your comfort zone in probably the best possible way that you could think. Honestly, it's an environment that brings together a lot of people who you didn't think you could mesh with. You've learned that you can. A group of friends that become family, and a family that becomes even closer than the actual family that you may have, which is much so in my case. But without further ado, Cotton, what in the world started everything?
It's a pretty long story, and I'm gonna try to break it down for you guys, so we're not here all night. I could talk for the next probably 12 hours, which besides Grim, the rest of us don't do 12-hour streams. Yeah, scratch your neck. So for those of you that don't know who I am, obviously introduced and given a pretty good background of it. I'm actually one of the founding members of Source Gaming. I've gone by CallMeKaze for years. A lot of people know me as SourceCast or just Kazi. It's not Kaze, it's Kazi. In the beginning, it started with Davey and I. Davey and I have known each other now for going on 3.5, 4 years, somewhere around there. We actually met through a long-term friend of mine, one of the first people that I ever met online gaming back in 2004. He had been playing with Davey with a couple friends, and he introduced us. We started playing together. Things hit it off. It was great. We were all streamers, small streamers trying to learn the stuff together. I happened to be pretty decent with Discord at the time, and Davey had asked me to help set up her Discord. A couple other people had asked me to set up theirs. And one day, Davey and I were talking. We were playing under the SRC tag, in Apex. She said, "Why don't we create a Discord for everybody? Put us all together. Let's grow together. Let's work together." That's really where Source began. Did we know it was going to be what it is today? Absolutely not. There's no way to guess that was going to happen. As far as what really drove it to being a true esports organization and took us from that step that a lot of people make, where they get their teams, they get their groups together, friends that play, and they share a goal. They work together, they play together constantly. Really, what it was is there's so many people out there that want to be streamers, that want to be professional gamers, that just want this out of their, that's just their drive is to get it. You look at the communication between all these orgs and their players, and Davey and I we watched it. It was frustrating as crap to watch these orgs, use and abuse people and then drop them when the necessity was gone, or not follow through on their promises. And we realized that we could do better than that. We could do much better than that. So with being a content creator, Grim can attest to this more than most. It's not just logging in 3 nights a week for 2.5 hours and streaming your heart out. There's so much more that has to happen behind the scenes, and it sometimes you need that help to get to there, unless to catch that break and to put the work in. It's really what it came down to, which is the frustration of seeing so many poorly managed and poorly organized orgs. We decided to start our own.
That's all you can really ask for. One of the things that attracted me to Source Gaming to begin with, I had sat back as a content creator. I've been streaming since day one of Apex Legends, so a little over 4 years now. And for about a year prior to joining SRC, I sat back. I viewed the landscape that is, orgs within the scene of content creation, competitive gaming, and all of that, and I just watched. I had friends joining this org, friends joining that org, competitive old friends joining this org, and I paid attention. I looked at the pros, I looked at the cons, I looked how people ran things and how poorly so many of them did it, and how the owner would essentially mistreat everything about their entire org. You know, you take pride in your work, you take ownership, you push forward, you hustle. And I had a list, a literal list on my computer of things I wanted an org owner to represent and an org owner to be about, and all the operations to push forward and push onto, you know, their org as a whole, whether it be comp or content creation or casting or anything, just their ideals. And when I sat down with Davey, lovely CEO, president of SRC, sat down with her in our meeting, she spoke. And as she speaks, and you guys can attest to this, she moves mountains. And she made it very visible to me that SRC as a whole met each and every single one of those markers that I had, you know, chosen for criteria for an org to represent, and some. And without any hesitation, immediately after, I was just like, sign me up. Where do I sign? Do you need a drop of blood? It's definitely something that I was extremely excited to be a part. I'm sure Tonto can attest.
When I was told, like, hey, you should join Source as a comp player, at that time, I feel like I was a much better player than I am now. I'm just mostly a toxic Maggie main because the kids had their chance to leave the lobby and they didn't, so it's not my fault. I remember my first meeting with Davey. She called me and I was like, hey, I never done this before. I never competed or anything, so I'll join. I can't promise you anything. The way that she spoke to me and the way that she alleviated like what I was stressing out about with this being so new to me was the only way I felt like that was when boot camp for the Army. And I, again, same anxiety, same, I'm not going to make it through. And one of my drill sergeants, he talked to me like a real person at that point in time. And he just like, no, you can do it. You're going to push past your limits. So that's when I knew I was in good hands with Davey. I was going to be in good hands with SRC. And I would never take this back. None of it. So I enjoyed my time playing in the comp scene for a bit. Then when I didn't want to do comp anymore, I just didn't feel that urge anymore. And I talked to Davey and Kazi. We had a meeting and it's like, you know what? And they had said, we always go to content creation. We don't want to lose you. And I thought, I was like, you know, I can't do comp more. I'm no good anymore. But they didn't make it seem that way. They told me, no, there's other aspects of the org. And that's one thing in that I miss about the military was I felt I had a purpose. And I was part of the team. Grim can attest to. He's also a Navy vet. I haven't once felt like that was not there with Source Gaming.
Absolutely. It's definitely something that I can attest to. You I got out ironically around the same exact time that I had joined SRC. It has given me that homage to my military service in terms of organizational skills. It's helped out a lot. You know, I am a veteran that does suffer from PTSD and anxiety and, you know, all the other stuff. Every single person in here, you know, we have a support role in the Discord, and support isn't just for your Geek Squad services. It is support for you as a whole. We are all here for each other, whether you're a part of SRC on contract or you just joined the Discord today. If you need to talk to somebody, feel free to reach out, and that's what a lot of people have done, and that makes me really happy that we have individuals like that. Moving on to the next subject, and the next question I have for Kazi, actually. In your words, what is the vision and the mission for the organization as a whole right now and moving forward?
Honestly, it's you know, we talked about, you know, the frustrations of other orgs not taking their role seriously, and, you know, other org leaders not taking their role seriously, and that's one of the things that I've enjoyed and been so proud of Davey for is, you know, she takes everything she does very seriously. She works day and night. She's here constantly. You know, as any small org can attest to, one of the hardest things we have to deal with on a regular basis is finding the resources and finding the funding, and so we can see every dream that we have come to fruition. We want paid positions. We want it to be a day-to-day business. So it's, you know, with us, the vision really is to continue to grow the org, to continue to build that community, and continue, you know, everything you guys just talked about, you know, having having that strong support group around you, whether you're former military or you're not former military, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs support. Everybody needs, needs to be around and needs people. And right now our biggest goal currently, it really is honestly trying to get to a position where we can have people on staff every day doing these events, and to host more events and to host more community type projects that we have planned, and make it to where somebody actually has the ability to handle those every day.
And in my opinion, that definitely is what differentiates our organization from others as well. Whether they be existing or future esports organizations. I feel like we are definitely establishing what is a stamp, a template for people to use moving forward if they want to create an environment that is positive and an organization that can be successful. Without Davey is the heart of SRC through and through, without a doubt. And it's amazing, the things that she does do day in and day out. And everybody watching, whether you know it or not, a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that you don't see, that you might not be a part of and everything like that. But I promise you, this baby right here, the SourceCast, you guys found them about 2 weeks ago. Guess how long we were working on it, Kanto?
Oh my God, it's been at least 6 months. I reached out to you because it was always on my mind. I'm pretty sure you're going on your bingers streaming for 3 days straight. And I remember I was typing, I'm like, hey, not to bother you, but there's a proposition I want to bring to you. And you reached back out to me like, oh yeah, we'll definitely talk. I'm almost done. Well, hopefully you're done streaming at that near that time. And yeah, I brought it up to you, and you were all about it. And then I was like, perfect. I'll reach out to Kazi, set up a meeting with him. We got that done. Davey was involved, and Kazi was all about it. This is something he was always wanted to be done. And this is the other thing where we're not doing it. This isn't just for me and Grim. This is for everyone in Source. This is for everyone to have, for everyone to enjoy, for everyone to share, like to bring other people in, and not necessarily, it doesn't have to be just gaming. If you do come for gaming, that's fine. No, we just want to, just like how in the military you meet people from all walks of life. That's what we want. We want to bring this forward to as many people as we can, and then hopefully meet new people from that as well. And then we just got the ball rolling, and then just with everything, RL is still a thing. So we did have some setbacks from when we wanted to get everything started. The drive was still there. We still wanted to do it. We just had to get past some hurdles, and thankfully we have, and we are here now. And I can't. Again, I don't want. There's nothing that I ever want to take back from this. This is exactly where I want to be. This is where I want to continue to be, and I want to see where this is gonna go.
Absolutely. I know that Kazi had this ball rolling and everything a lot longer than 6 months ago and everything, and this was a baby of his that he's been trying to build up and get going a lot longer than 6 months ago. It's definitely something that he has been a huge part of and everything. And with that being said, Kazi, what was the general motivation behind wanting to start this podcast?
Source gaming is not just gaming. We put it in the name because it has to be there. It just doesn't sound right without it. But I wanted people to see a side of the org that wasn't, just completely dedicated to video games. And, everybody knows us for Apex. You get into the Apex scene and Source is a name, SRC is a name. But I wanted people to see the other side of the org, the stuff that isn't shown constantly everywhere and anywhere. You see orgs doing their interviews with their pro players and things like that, and I mean, I'm not saying that you guys won't ever do that, but I'm saying that this is more for us to educate and enjoy and communicate and entertain in areas that doesn't have to be geared around Apex. We literally had a conversation about the first release of this being around the the EMEA and NA finals and what it would do, and the decision was made that this has nothing to do with gaming. I have always been a long time, I've been a long time podcast fan. There's a couple of them that I thoroughly enjoy watching. And when you guys came to me with the idea, and Tanto's, I was jumping on board. I really was. I've wanted to see something like this for a while, and the two of you, I couldn't have picked a better crew to do it. So for me, it was awesome to see you guys come to me with the interest in doing it, and that was the reason that I was so gung ho, and I still am very, very gung ho. I promise you, whether I'm sitting here behind a camera or sitting in my office or sitting on my phone, I'll be watching every one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely been a big work in progress, and I'm really excited for the future of the podcast and the direction that it's going. And every episode we have planned out, we do have a plan for all the episodes, guys. We have a game plan for the first season of the podcast. It's going to be one heck of a ride. Every other week we'll be doing this, covering different aspects, different subjects, different topics. If you guys are curious about something, if you guys want to know what the next episode is, what's going on, join the Discord today, find out what's going on, find out what the next episode is. Just stay tuned and everything. And there's a lot of moving parts going forward, and it's going to be a blast. And I cannot wait to talk about everything. It's beneficial to everybody, and that's what Source, in my opinion, and in words of others as well, represents. We are your source for gaming. We are your beginning, maybe your first step in the door, your first foot in the door, the next step and next thing you have to do to evolve into something more, whether it be content creation, staffing, just anything. We want to help you take that next step with whatever it may be, even if it's just being a voice that can be heard. So we are completely involved from the top down, and it's this podcast is a representation of that, honestly. So when we first started this, I was just a content creator. When we first had this little idea that came to fruition and everything, I was a little content creator. And I showed initiative and everything, and that's one thing I want to put forth to everybody listening and all of their members that may be in here and everything like that is show initiative. Take that drive that you have with whatever aspect you are doing and push it. Don't be afraid to go further and continue your drive, whatever aspect in life it may be. It can come a podcast. It can become you getting rated by Nicewick. It can be you crazy things can happen when you just show that initiative, show that drive, show your passion with anything, and it's been amazing. I know Tanto's had a lot of adversities that he's come across since joining, and obstacles he's overcome, and comfort zones he's pushed past, and for lack of better terms, asshole moments that he likes to mute people and move them around Discord, but that's just poking fun. But I know you've had a lot of different adversities that you've faced and everything, and you can probably attest to everything I've said so far, Tanto, right?
Yeah, I don't know about the moving people around, muting, or maybe banning for 4 days. I don't know anything about that really, but what I can, what
Did
I
you
can
just
bring
lie on stream?
I would never.
I'm
Sir,
fairly
this is
positive.
reported.
I'm fairly positive, at minimum, that classified as a fib.
I don't know. Again, also, if you see on, I know it's switched around on my camera, but this is one of my jerseys, and it says Thor Tonto, not iTanto. iTanto is what I go by currently, or just Tonto. So if it was Thor Tonto, then that's the guy you should probably go talk with. But he's not here right now. It's iTanto.
New name, new me. Okay.
Yep.
That's the story we're gonna go with today.
Come on, guys. 2023. I have been through many adversities. Whether it's at the time when I joined Source, I was living in Arizona. I'm from Illinois. I'm currently right now in Illinois, but I grew up in a very rural area, very small town, nothing but corn and bean fields. And other than when I joined the military and I went away to boot camp, went to my advanced individual training afterwards, going to Arizona was the farthest away home I have ever been. And so luckily I had my roommates there, who I knew. But You know, I was in a new state, thousands of miles away. Family's not near me. Any of my friends in Illinois are not near me. Um, and that's a lot. Like that, I thought I accounted for on the drive there. It took me 3 days to get there. It was not fun. On my first day, I was driving. I went into a snowstorm. I pretty much made it to the Illinois and Missouri border, and then a semi came really close to me where if I stuck out my arm, I would have touched the semi. And I didn't like that. So I saw the Holiday Inn, turned around, and went over there.
Not
It
something you wanna
was.
touch.
Hmm? Oh, yeah,
Not
no.
something you want to touch at all.
No, not since I saw like 3 other cars in the ditches already, I wasn't gonna take the chance. Like on for those 3 days, just being on the road and then having to stay at a hotel and everything, it made me think a lot of what I was doing. I was I just recently I got out of the military at that time at the end of 2019. That was the last of my contract. I wanted something different. I didn't see a future anymore where it was. And luckily, I had a friend who's like, "Hey, I have a room for you. Come anytime." And I was riding that high that I was doing something that not a lot of people could do, or they couldn't commit. They were too afraid, and which is a very valid reason. That's not to discredit, or say, you're a bad person, but oh, you couldn't do this. Um, but the one thing that helped me to adjust uh, through that being there pretty much almost all alone is I had gaming, I had online, I had my online friends I could still get it with every night. When this was also leading into COVID during quarantine time. I was at home working for a work from home job, and so then that was a constant thing then, to always be at a computer and being stuck at home. Me and my friends got a lot closer, and then when I joined Source, I met even more people, like Davey, Kazi, Grim, Grizz. Now, with him, he might be newest, but still, this would never happen if I didn't leave my hometown. If I never decided to move up to near a bigger city, and then making the choice to go into the military, and that was something that really broke me out of my comfort zone. If you probably wouldn't notice, but I was a very, very shy fat kid.
It's
I was
nasty
not.
now.
Yeah. I was not. I did not have a lot of friends. I had school friends, but I did not want to socialize outside of school for whatever reason. In my mind, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna embarrass myself. They're not gonna want to be friends with me." So I just strictly kept that as that. High school, it was a lot better. I got out of my comfort zone, but when I got into the military, that's where it really broke it for me. And just a lot of the things that I've done in my past, even though a lot of them I wish I never went through, I wouldn't be here now. When I really think about it, one small change, and then I I would never met Grim. I would never met Kazi, Davey, or anyone at Source. I don't know where I'd be. And I am glad that it turned out this way.
It's definitely a testament of your character and everything like that. Because no matter what obstacles you face and what adversities you might have gone against and everything like that, you stay true to who you are as a person, and you continue to push forward. You continue to do whatever was necessary. Within your life to overcome everything, and within SRC, even you still was that voice of reasoning, that person that would go out of his way to listen to other people's issues and problems and be there as a shoulder for everything that they had going on. And it was like you used all of those potential negatives and used it as fuel for you to push yourself to become a better person, do a better job, and be somebody that you can look back on and be proud of. And that just shows a lot about who you are, Tonto. And proud to call you my friend, seriously, and definitely proud to call you my co-host. Another person that's definitely been through a lot and continued to use it as motivation is definitely our director for the SourceCast with Grizz. And I just want to take a moment out and say thank you so much for everything you do, Grizz, for social media. Being the social media manager, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of different tasks in hand. You've faced those adversities, that I'm myself aware of, and a few others maybe, or maybe it's open, but either way, I've seen some of the things you've gone through. You've pushed through it, and you've shown that you are true to your character, that you're true to who you are, and I'm just proud to know you, man. Seriously, and we couldn't have a better director on here, and none of this would be possible without you. And man's a full-time content creator. Go check him out if you like Dead by Daylight stuff. Guy's killing it. It's awesome. Absolutely killing it in the scene for Dead by Daylight. It's got a big following. It's very you know, a close-knit community and everything like that. And that's something you want to have, kind of, you know, with any aspect of content creation and everything. But he is the he's the social media guru for SRC. He's definitely done an absolutely amazing job. And on the topic, moving forward, and moving to you, Kazi, with the next question I have for you. What challenges and obstacles have you yourself faced, and what challenges and obstacles have you had with our CEO, president, and owner Davey since starting this esports organization and everything? And how did you overcome them, and how do you plan to overcome future ones?
You know, the challenge and obstacle thing, anybody that's ever been involved in esports in any serious way, more than just playing games and hanging out with your friends, you know, if it's something that you wanted to get into competitive or you wanted to get into content, everybody can attest to the same thing. You know, Grizz stepping out to be a full-time content creator is a massive challenge. You know, you still have your life outside of gaming to think about. It kind of comes back to something I touched on earlier, is just the funding side of it, man. I mean, running an organization, it's got to come out of somebody's pocket. Somebody has to pay for the pretty features on Discord. Somebody has to pay for all the cool banners and overlays and all of that stuff. That's where, you know, Davey takes such a massive role in the org, is her ability to show the dream to everybody. You know, and as long as esports kind of stays second to sports, or not quite as mainstream as everybody would like it to be, you know, there's probably more gamers out there than anything else combined. They're just not as open and crazy about it. There's always been this stigma, and I don't maybe, you know, growing up, I played video games to kind of escape reality and to get away, like Tanto had said, you know, just to have that group of friends that I could hang out with, that I knew were going to be there while I was playing, whether they were giving me crap or, you know, being there when I needed it. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of having that companionship that does it for you. But it's never really, it's slowly starting today to evolve past that for so many people, to where, you know, now it's a realistic job choice. It's a realistic career choice for a lot of people. But our biggest, I would say, obstacle has been, and still to this day continues to be, funding. There's so much we would love to do, but nothing comes free. As we're continuing to push through all of this, you know, our hope is, honestly, and I say hope, but honestly, I think it's what's gonna happen is we're gonna look back maybe a year, maybe 2 years, but seeing what I've seen over the last 2 years, I would say, you know, I would hope to see a year or 2 years from now, we could look back on this first, you know, this whole situation we're in now, and be like, do we really have to deal with that back then? You know, is that it? Hell, I'm gonna throw 2 tournaments today. You know, I'm gonna throw 2 big community events today. Let's throw some cash prizes in there for these guys. Let's host an event, you know, and we can teach these guys what they need to know about this. And that's where we want to be. We want to be able to do anything and everything for everybody. You know, Davey and I, it's not just a business per se. It's also about the community. And I would love to see them come in and have a great time. Like I said, it comes down to funding. And anybody that's ever tried to do this understands that statement wholly.
Definitely not something that anyone can do. It's not something. I'm not saying it's impossible for you to do it. It's not to lose hope. It's not to lose dreams, but it is a difficult task at hand, especially if you're starting off on your own. But, you know, luckily, Davey, Kazi, and others was a group that got together, shared a common goal and a common interest, and established what would come to be what you are watching now. SRC is. And I know there's a lot of plans for the future, a lot of moving parts, and a lot of great things happening even as we speak. I mean, this past week, we've announced 4 total new members, starting off with Salt Dog at the beginning of the week. Salt Dog joined to help out with, you know, staffing in Prospect. He's also a content creator. A little bit of homage to him. Shout out to Salt Dog. He's got some great plans for him. Great dude. The second being Simply Trey. If you guys want to check him out, definitely check him out. He came on for staffing as well. He's going to help out with prospects alongside Salt Dog. And, oh, why 2 people for prospects? Why 2 people for this? A lot of people want to be on contract. A lot of people want to be a part of SRC. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I'm saying we do have a lot of people that do come in. And for those people, we do have what is called our prospects. It's kind of like an internship. You want to be a content creator, but you don't meet those goals that we have on our requirements and on the application. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. We still accept you for you, and we want to help you get to that point. We will help you in any way. We'll give you the tips, the advice, and get your goals and make you push towards them, make you become the most successful version of yourself. And that's for every aspect, not just content creation. You want to be in comp? That's fine. You can join Prospect. You want to be staff? That's fine. Join Prospect. We can all help all of you in some way, shape, or form. And that is what these 2 individuals have joined to do, is help mold those prospects, those interns, those people that want to become something more. It's great. It's going to be good work going forward with Salt and Trey. Our third signing was Toon. If you guys were tuning in earlier, no pun intended, to the watch party, you seen Toon. He was the host. Me and him, we watched the LCQ for EMEA, and it was you cannot ask for a better tournament for the debut of a caster for an organization. Absolutely incredible. Really excited to work with him, help him in any way, shape, or form I can going forward, casting and everything. It was a lot of fun. So really excited with Toon moving forward. He's also a content creator as well. If you want to check out his page and find him in the Discord, click on his link, go check him out. And which brings us to the man, the myth, the arm, JB, our first athletic content creator that we have signed. JB, he's a quarterback for Jackson State, former quarterback for South Carolina. And he's going to be posting some content from football and gaming as well. He is a gamer. He plays a little bit of Call of Duty. Kazi has definitely helped with the upbringing of JB and the molding for him within SRC and what he can do. And I'm sure, Kazi, you can say a couple words on him, and you got a couple announcements to close this thing out, correct?
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, so Jason JB, or your boy JB, I believe. Jason, I know him as Jason. Great guy, very good entertainer. He's worked his entire life towards, football, got into content creation, got into streaming, and like a lot of us realized, it's a lot of fun. Getting, what we had talked about initially is so many people want to do it, but they don't know how to start. They don't know where to go. It just so happened that his girlfriend works for me. And she had told me about it, what he was into, and I said, have him come talk to me. And it started with a conversation, and he realized there was so much more, and wanted more, and wanted to learn more. He doesn't know a lot about computers. He don't know a lot about how this works, and we have all of that, and we will jump into that as heavy as we can to make sure, we want anybody to have the capability of pursuing their dreams. So now he is streaming in his free time. He should be back live, I would say. Give him a few more days. He just moved. So it's going to be a little bit to get that set up. When I left him the other day, they could not get their internet active. But he's working on getting a computer set up now so that he can really, really start to see the full potential of the stream. I think we're working on, we've got some clips and stuff from him that should be coming out hopefully in the next week or so. I think I have it set on the 27th. We've got a video coming out for him that he helped us get put together. Let's see. I don't know if you mentioned Realm Wizard as well has recently come on with the org. Realm Wizard is very well known in the Rocket League industry.
Yes.
A lot of people, know us for Apex, but we're not just Apex. We're podcasts. We're Valorant. We're Rocket League. We're a community, and he's been slowly developing and building the community as far as the Rocket League side of it goes. It's really cool to see a lot of these guys coming in, getting excited about it. I have personally never played Rocket League. I have watched it one time and got confused watching it. So it's not a good sign.
People talk about the skill ceiling on Apex Legends. However, I played when I took my huge break from Apex Legends. I was hyper fixated on Rocket League, and I gotta say the skill ceiling is insanely high, and it's ever growing. And it's insane. Everybody thinks that the attention you know, the community is big for Apex. I promise you, Rocket League got to beat. It's exploding. It's insane. I went to the RLCS championship in Dallas Fort Worth this past year in August. It was a complete stadium that was packed full of people, completely packed. Not just like one front row like ALGS, the whole stadium. It was a lot of people. I was claustrophobic. I believe you had something else to announce, Kazi, didn't you?
We're actually going to be doing a giveaway. It's like $100 value. It's what, like rims or something like that. I'm not real familiar with the product itself, unfortunately, but the entry is going to be posted on 7/25, so Tuesday, by Realm Wizard. I believe it's a set of rims, in-game rims. They're around 100, 120 bucks or so to actually purchase them yourself. So guys, stay tuned to the Twitter and keep track of the announcements in Discord. If you are an active player, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be a competitive guy. I mean, I like bling.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to download the game and try it.
Always good.
It's not going to change that.
Bling is always good. Is definitely something. They're nice pair of wheels. I was really big into trading and stuff on Rocket League too. That consumed part of my soul as well. It is a scene of its own, and you know, if you guys are good with Rocket League, you know these wheels are worth some stuff. So definitely tune in to that giveaway. It is something definitely worth checking out. At least, you know, it's free. You know, doesn't
Right.
it's nothing. Might as well, even if you don't.
So it looks like we may be having some technical difficulties here. Hold on.
Might be.
I don't know what this is. Grizz, what you got going on? Can't hear anything.
I'm sorry, but the
snuck
person
in?
you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go. There's audio.
Davey here, bringing you some news and updates straight from the source. We've been working on big things with some amazing people and are excited to announce our official partnership with Sector X, a VR gaming arena in New Jersey and the new home of Source Gaming. Sector X is outfitted with top-of-the-line VR arenas and PC battle stations. We'll be heading out there in August for SRC Boot Camp, an organizational meetup to learn and grow as a team with food, gaming, team-building activities, and more. We've also partnered with Gridiron Access, an athletic media company whose focus is impacting the lives of athletes by providing a unique digital platform to showcase their talent while connecting them with next-level opportunities. They've invited us to their upcoming event, Battle at the Beach in Ocean City, New Jersey, where several high schools will be competing on the field and big screen. We'll be hosting B-Stream live from the sidelines with post-game interviews from the players right next to the ESPN tents and casters. We've got big things planned and a lot of work to do, which is why I'm proud to kick off our first episode with this message. This podcast will be a place to spark a conversation about how amazing and talented the people of this organization and community are, while sharing interesting topics and life experiences. We are Source Gaming, the spark of passion to forge the best and your only source for gaming.
You're back.
It's like technical difficulties are over. I think he fixed it.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I plan to have a good few words for Davey later. That's for sure.
Some technical difficulties there. We that is something Tanto and I are completely caught off guard with, you know, seeing as we were under the impression that Davey was not speaking. Davey?
Just before anybody gets upset with Davey, just forewarning, I've had that for about a week now.
No, it's fine.
So, that's being Grizz.
I'm not actually upset. It's a pleasant surprise. I'm just gonna fight Davey. It's fine.
No, I'm upset. I'm upset because I had to legit. It felt like I was fighting a 5-year-old, and I'm gonna make sure that my voice is heard later on.
Because I made her swear to privacy that she wouldn't tell anybody.
She held true. She held true. She did not say a word. That is.
I thought Grizz was going to be the one to slip up. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? Damn it, Davey. You know exactly. We're even. Not really, actually.
No.
A couple.
No. You can say goodbye to your character too at Diamond. And any other time we're doing, I'm just not gonna risk you.
Sad nothing but
you're on a
carries me to Diamond.
you're on a probation with me for it. I'll let you know when it's over for sure.
That's what it feels like when you get anime sucked away from your daily routine.
Yeah.
Either way, there's some great words spoken by Davey. Definitely had some great words there with Sector X and everything else going forward. And it's been a great first episode, guys. Really gotta thank you guys for all being a part of this. I look forward to everything else going on in the future and all the future episodes and all that. Kazi, I know you'll kind of be, sitting back and overseeing how it rolls and everything going forward. You might not be on the episode, but you may be, surveying, taking notes and stuff like that. So we do appreciate all work you've done and all work you will do. And Grizz, without Grizz, none of this is possible. He is the button masher, the button presser, and the secret keeper of this podcast. But seriously, thank you guys, and obviously to my co-host Tanto, thank you so much for everything. And big shout out to our sponsor, GameNetics as well. GameNetics, if you guys are in the market for a new controller and everything, definitely give them a look. GameNetics is one of a kind custom controllers. I have one myself. I myself am sponsored by GameNetics as well. This is one of their controllers, customized, everything you can ask for. If you guys want to see more, go ahead and look. But with all that said, thank you guys. Tonto?
This was a beautiful start to this season. Kazi, thank you for taking your time, to be on this with us. Again, we've been looking for this for a very long time. Grizz is he's an absolute fucking legend in SRC with handling social media, reaching whenever there's new people coming in and out to the Discord. He's always there to say hello. I don't know. Grizz is an essential part. That's for damn sure. And if he tries to leave, I'm gonna break his ankles in a loving way.
That way you can't run away too fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. No, guys. I appreciate you guys kind of undertaking this. Taking on this this entire series. I'm more excited than you have any clue to see how this goes and how this progresses. And I know you guys will work out kinks and things are going to get better and things are going to get more interactive and more fun. As we expand into all avenues as a whole, as a community, and together, it's awesome to see where we could go or what we could do. I definitely appreciate you guys asking me to come on board for the first episode. Obviously, I know if you wanted history on it, really didn't have a choice, but I'm going to overlook that and feel like I was chosen.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
honestly,
Sure.
I'll be 100% honest. From the start, it's we've wanted you part of episode 1. It's been a no-brainer that we wanted you on the first episode. Especially once we rolled out Davey, showing face at least. She's scared of cameras. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
She's
crazy.
shy.
Not,
She's
not,
shy.
not scared of keeping secrets.
No,
But it's fine.
no,
I
there's
can
no
do
secrets,
it
my
once,
friends,
that's
right?
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's gonna wrap it up for this first episode of our first edition for SourceCast. I'm your host Grim, and tune in next week for our episode covering streamer etiquette. If you guys are interested in that subject, we have a lot to go over.
So next episode will actually be on August 6th. This will be bi-weekly. So please put it on your calendars. We will have events set up in the Discord. So a little reminder for y'all. But yes, 6 p.m. Eastern, August 6th will be the second episode, the first edition of the SourceCast.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'm Grim, co-host Tanto, special guest Kazi, and director of everything Grizz. This is SourceCast. Tune in out.